We have this idea in society that a difficult past just damages people. But what if that's not the whole story? What if going through hell also forges these rare and honestly powerful psychological strengths? Let's get into that.
And this is the question at the heart of it all. We're going to reframe this whole conversation. It's not about being flawed or broken. It's about understanding that your brain was fundamentally rewired for one single powerful reason: to survive.
And this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? We're throwing out those old, tired labels on the left. Instead, we're going to see them for what they really are: signs of a seriously profound emotional intelligence. Okay, so let's break down the 5 key traits that show this hidden strength.
First up, we've got a trait that, let's be honest, kind of feels like a superpower. It's that ability to walk into a room and instantly know the emotional vibe.
If this is you, you know exactly what I'm talking about. A tiny change in someone's voice, the way their shoulders tense up for a split second. To you, those aren't small details. They're like giant flashing neon signs. And meanwhile, everyone else seems completely oblivious. It's like you can see the emotional code of a room.
So there's actually a name for this: hypervigilance. And what's so important to get is that if you grew up in a chaotic home, your brain basically became this elite scanner, constantly sweeping the area for emotional threats. It was a full-time job it took on just to keep you safe.
I want you to really let this sink in, this feeling. It's not a glitch. It's a highly advanced survival skill. It's a form of high-level perception that was absolutely critical for you to get by, and it never quite switched off. It's a feature, not a bug.
Okay, let's dive into our second trait. And I want to ask you something. Do you ever feel this just overwhelming responsibility for how other people are feeling? This can look a lot like intense people-pleasing, or maybe you're the designated emotional caretaker for your friends and family. You're the one who instinctively smooths things over, who puts out the emotional fires, and you might even feel a little pang of guilt if someone near you is upset, even if it has absolutely nothing to do with you.
The roots of this go deep. Psychologists call it early emotional role reversal. Basically, as a kid, you might have learned a really tough lesson that your own safety, physical or emotional, depended entirely on your ability to manage your parents' moods. You essentially became the emotional thermostat for the entire house, and that is a heavy, heavy job for a child.
And that's the real kicker. It's not just that you're a caring person, it's that you carry the weight of other people's emotions like it's your personal job to fix them. And that is an incredibly heavy burden to carry around day after day.
All right, this next one is a real mind bender. It's a trait that a lot of survivors find so confusing. The idea that calm and quiet can feel way more terrifying than total chaos.
I mean, think about it. When you grow up surrounded by unpredictability, your nervous system gets used to it. Stress, tension, even a big crisis. It can all feel weirdly familiar, almost comfortable, because at least you know the rules of engagement. You know how to operate in that environment.
But then, things get quiet. Things get calm. And instead of feeling relief, you get this knot in your stomach, this deep sense of unease. You're just waiting, bracing for the other shoe to drop, because your system just doesn't believe that peace is real or that it's going to last.
And this totally makes sense when you break it down, right? Your body literally learned how to survive in a war zone. It never got the memo for peacetime. So when things are finally calm, your internal alarm system gets confused and starts thinking the absence of a threat must be a hidden threat.
Okay, let's talk about trait number 4. And this one is tricky, because from the outside, it looks like incredible strength. It's that fierce and, yeah, sometimes isolating self-reliance. Sound familiar?
This is called defensive self-reliance. Look, a tough childhood can teach you a really brutal but logical lesson. The only person you can truly count on is yourself. So what does the brain do? It adapts. It learns to push its own needs down, to stop asking for help, because experience showed that relying on others was either pointless or worse, dangerous. And man, that just hits home, doesn't it? People probably look at you and admire how you handle everything yourself. But it's so important to remember, this wasn't really a choice. It was a protective shield you were forced to build just to get by. Our final trait, this one might be the most poignant of all. It's the amazing ability to deeply, truly understand someone else's suffering while keeping your own pain completely locked away, hidden from view.
And look at this contrast here. It's really something. You're probably the person everyone calls in a crisis. You can sit with them in their pain, you can listen without judgment, because on a deep level, you get it. But when it comes to your own struggles, there's just silence. And this goes way, way back. You figured out pretty early on that your feelings were an inconvenience to other people, or worse, that showing them could actually get you into trouble. So you became a master at carrying your strength and your pain with a quiet resilience most people could never even imagine. So, we've laid out these 5 powerful, pretty complex traits, but just recognizing them, that's only step 1. Because here's the really exciting part. The goal isn't just to survive anymore. It's to finally move into a place where you can actually truly thrive. Okay, listen up, because if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. These traits are not who you are. They are the armor you wore. And that armor absolutely kept you safe, but it might be heavy now, it might be holding you back. And you have 100% permission to start setting it down.
So what does that look like? Well, first you acknowledge these things aren't flaws. They're skills, incredible skills. Thank them for getting you through. Then really understand why you needed them in the first place. And most importantly, let it sink in that the war is over. You deserve to feel safe now. And that means doing the brave work of practicing what once felt impossible, like learning that asking for help is actually a sign of strength and allowing yourself to truly rest without feeling guilty about it. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. Seeing these traits laid out like this, which one really resonates with you? And maybe more importantly, which one are you ready to start compassionately healing so you can finally move from just surviving to actually thriving?